And everybody, welcome to 19 Miles to Music Row. Glad you're here with us tonight. Yeah. Man, Nathan and I, we're sitting up here trying to identify who that was doing that banging pre-show music, man. Don't know who that was, but it was good. Good. Happy to see you all here tonight. For those of you that are new, our format is such that we have 3 up-and-coming stellar writers, and this is a cool deal for you. You get to see them for free tonight, and then 5 years, it would cost you $100 or something bucks a ticket. So a pretty good deal for you tonight. So we'll open with our 3 writers. Then we will take a brief intermission and come back with Inside the Hits featuring the lovely and talented Leslie Satcher. Yeah, it's going to be a real good night. This has been an interesting summer. I turned 70. And I went to my, still a baby. Went to my high school reunion, my 50th. And I'm like, who are all these old people? What's going on here? And then I had my family reunion this past weekend, bunch of us. And we were reminding ourselves about when my dear grandfather passed away. He was in his bed upstairs, for his last days. And his wife, my grandmother, was taking care of him. And he smelled these cookies, his favorite chocolate chip walnut cookies being baked. And he was like, what a spectacular thing for my wife to do for me. And so he tries to get her attention, but he didn't have much of a voice, couldn't really be heard. So he can't stand anymore. He crawls out of bed or falls out of bed and crawls towards the door and balloons his way down the steps, and the smell's getting stronger. He knows he's on the right trail, and he gets up and he gets to the dining room and he can see this steaming plate of his favorite cookies, and the aroma's just filling the house. And he makes it as he doesn't have much strength left. He finally gets there, pulls himself up on the table, and he's just about to grab a cookie, and my grandmother slaps his hand and says, "No, you don't. Those are for the funeral." So that's my family. Yes, very prepared. So, hey, we're glad you're here tonight, and looking forward to this. Let's get to know our writers, shall we? And we'll have a brief intermission. There are really good snacks, as usual. Karen Edwards does a great job of some tasty snacks and beverages and stuff. And if you need to leave, of course, the exits are back there. And if it's an emergency, there are exits up here. It should be all right, though. But let's get to know our writers a little bit. On your left, stage right, is Eve Salas. Eve, how are you? Great. Speak into the mic, darling. Eve, where are you from? Let me see if it's even on.
There it is. I'm originally from California. I'm one of those. San Diego. Yay!
Good.
You should visit. It's beautiful.
Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, it is. Let me ask you this. How did music become part of your life? Was it a family thing for you, or the Beatles, or friends, or what?
It's just always been in my life. And my mom tells the story of when I was little, I used to just kick my foot. Whenever music came on, and when I was in my crib, I was just kicking to the beat. So yeah. I was going to be a drummer. That's not true. But I think I would have liked to have been a bass player. Otherwise, then you're a singer. So here I am.
Never too late, babe. Good. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. Eve Salas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Sam Hatmaker is our next writer. Sam, what about you? You're from the Knoxville area, I believe, born and raised?
Yeah, I'm from Knoxville, but I've lived here for a little over 5 years now.
Well, welcome. How'd music become part of your life, my dear?
Yeah, so it was not a family thing for me. I wouldn't say my parents are necessarily musical, but they were both performers growing up. My mom did a lot of acting, and my dad was a stand-up comedian.
Really?
So I always knew I wanted to be on stage like what they did, and the music was just kind of my thing.
A way to get there.
So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Sam Hatmaker, ladies and gentlemen. And you may recognize Nathan Picard. Nathan has been with us before and also is very well known in the area for being parts of bands and solo gig, and just played for a long, long time. Where'd you grow up? I don't remember, Nathan.
Geneva, Nebraska.
Ah,
That's where I grew up.
really?
Small town on the Kansas border.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Denver, and I know all about
I
Nebraska.
Spent the second part of my life in Colorado Springs. So
Lovely place.
It is beautiful.
Good.
It's beautiful.
Well, good. Well, we're glad you made your way here. Music for you, did it come from a family member, or
Yeah, my dad was he was an aspiring singer-songwriter, and he moved to California in the late 60s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to pursue that. And so when I was a little kid, he kind of gave me a little ukulele, and that was the first instrument I played when I was about 4 years old. So yeah, it kind of started there.
From there to here. Well, good. Yeah. Well, Nathan Picard, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you're all here. So, Eve, why don't you kick things off? Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Dan Keene. All right. Yeah. So my name's Eve Sellis, and it's so good to be here. I'm a neighbor. We live in Franklin. My son goes to Franklin High School. This is pretty exciting. And I have my friend Sam Hunt here to play guitar for me because I learned how to play during the pandemic, and you're really happy that I have Sam here on guitar. So I'm going to play a song for you that was on my latest record. It's called Fearless Heart. And from learning about life and going through trauma and tragedy like we all have, I think that's just, we're all shell-shocked from the last couple of years. But I've learned that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. And so I will just dedicate this song to all of us as we move forward in life, that we move forward with a fearless heart. All right. Maybe all of us are searching for some golden mean, one bright answer written softly in the sky. Is this life a perfect tragedy we all have dreamed? Or is the darkness just a canvas for the light? If I had a fearless heart, love would be so easy, as simple as a kiss, as brave and broken as the truth. I'd let go with abandon all the armor I once needed. If I had a fearless heart, I'd give this heart to you. One day I'll embrace the weakness that has caged my soul, and I'll surrender to the grace and freely fall. I will trust you, and forgiveness will be our last hope. When at last we both believe the sacred call. If I had a fearless heart, love would be so easy, as simple as a kiss, as brave and broken as the truth. I'd let go with abandon all the armor I once needed. If I had a fearless heart, I'd give this heart to you. Fearless heart, I know you want to be unbound. Fearless heart, I'll wait for you until love echoes through the clouds, and love will be so easy, as simple as a kiss, as brave and broken as the truth. Thank you so much. Sam Hunt.
Nice. I love your voice. Well, my name is Sam Hatmaker, and I'm going to play a song that I wrote called Lion or the Lamb. And if you like it, I released it last year, so it's available on Spotify and Apple and all that. Tiger, your passionate fire, but I'm not a fighter. Don't bite like a tiger. You look like a lone wolf. You're lost and you're hopeless. Too bad for your own good. I can't leave you alone, wolf. Wild, wild animals, poison without antidote, just like wild animals. Boys only want the lion or the lamb, the quiet or the tried to. Boys only want to have it if they can, to chase you like a man supposed to. Boys only want the lion or the lamb, and I'm trying to understand which one I am to you. You puff out your chest, boy. I know that it's just noise, too small for your own voice. Call you what it is, boy. 'Cause I could love you like a dream, or love you till I wanna leave. Boys only want the lion or the lamb, the quiet or the can't be tamed if you try to. Boys only want to have it if they can't, to chase you like a man supposed to. Boys only want the lion or the lamb, and I'm trying to understand which one I am to you. We'll call it forever, but never say never. 'Cause there's hard love and there's good love, and the heart wants to feel more of it all. The boys only want the lion or the lamb, the quiet or the can't be tamed if you try to. Boys only want to have it if they can, to chase you like a man supposed to. Boys only want the lion or the lamb, and I'm trying to understand which one I am to you. And I'm trying to understand which one I am to you. Thank you.
So I've been married for about 20 years now, and my wife and I, we kind of have this running joke that if I write her a good song, she buys me a guitar, and so I'm hoping this one might get me another guitar. I'm not sure. But, this is a brand new song, so I'm going to test it out on you guys if that's all right. Does that work?
young and so reckless, along with our two hearts on fire. You were wild like the wind, I was always 2 steps behind. No matter where you are, I won't be far, just keep chasing after you. You were a blue sky summer night, reckless rebel, I just wanted the truth. All I wanted was you. Blue sky summer night, reckless rebel, I just wanted the truth. All I wanted was you. All I wanted was you. The days have gone by, I know you won't be in one place. Though the days have grown long, I'm still in love with the chase. No matter where you are, I won't be far, just keep chasing after you. You were a blue sky summer night, reckless rebel, I just wanted the truth. All I wanted was you. Blue sky summer night, reckless rebel, I just wanted the truth. All I wanted was you. 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 Recklessly, I know there's only one thing that I want, and it's you. Hopelessly falling, there's only one thing left to do, chasing you. Blue sky summer night, reckless rebel, I just wanted the truth. All I wanted was you. All I wanted was you. All I wanted was you. All I wanted was you.
So, what color guitar do you want?
Ooh, I would like a 1976 Fender Jaguar. That's
All right.
a
I think that sounds
sunburst.
worth it. Nice. Good job. I love it. So I've been doing this a while, and it's always a blessing to be able to say you're a working musician. I think for all of us on stage here, it's just it's been a hard time for musicians and artists. So it's just so good to be out in front of people and doing this. And while I was here, when we moved during the pandemic, like you do, and there wasn't much gigging for me to be had, I finished writing my next project. And I have a record and some CDs in the back there, but this new project is called Dark Sky Blue. And I'm going to sing you the title track right now. And this is a song, sometimes as songwriters, you write a song just to heal your own broken heart. And it's not always easy to sing it, but the more you sing it and the more you cry, the more you heal through it. So I'm going to try to get through without crying. And I wrote this song with Kim McLean, who's a dear friend of mine. I met her here. I've been coming back to Nashville for about the last 20 years or so. So I'm not necessarily new to Nashville, but it's just new to living here and loving living in Franklin. So I wrote this with Kim McLean and Doug Kreider. It's called Dark Sky Blue.
Where was the world the day you needed someone to be by your side and help you make it through? Would a smile or a touch or a prayer have made any difference to give you some hope and turn your dark sky blue? 'Cause I would have taken your place, would have done anything just to find you. How did your life get so hard? Right and wrong got confused. Oh, didn't you know just how much all of us loved and adored you? Now what will it take to turn your dark sky blue? You left us here without a single answer to pick up the pieces of your broken point of view. Now we've got to go on with the empty hole you left us and fill it with light to turn your dark sky blue. And I would have taken your place, I would have done anything just to find you. And how did your life get so hard? Right and wrong got confused. Oh, didn't you know just how much all of us loved and adored you? Now what will it take to turn your dark sky blue? And I would have taken your place, I would have done anything just to find you. How did your life get so hard? Right and wrong got confused. Oh, didn't you know just how much all of us loved and adored you? Now what will it take to turn your dark sky blue? What will it take to turn your dark sky blue? What will it take? Oh, what will it take? You left us with a dark sky, baby. Oh, such a dark turn that dark sky blue. I have to turn that dark sky blue.
Nice, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to play another song that I wrote that is available for streaming and or buying. I actually wrote this about internet haters. It's called Someone to Hate. It's funny how a stranger can know you so well. They don't even know your name, but they'll sure tell you everything you're doing wrong and all about the road you're on and how it don't lead nowhere and they don't have to have been there. It is what it is, it ain't what it ain't. Some people sin, dress like a saint, live how you live, don't ever change. Some people just need someone to hate. Look into the mirror before you leave the house, and remember that feeling when they tear you down. How you love the girl you saw, know that no one knows it all. They can't see deeper than your skin. It's you who has to live in it. It is what it is, it ain't what it ain't. Some people sin, dress like a saint, live how you live, don't ever change. Some people just need someone to hate. When you feel small, keep standing tall. It's a long way down if you make that fall. And they don't like you, walk in their shoes. 'Cause honestly, they probably just need someone to love them too. It is what it is, it ain't what it ain't. Some people sin, dress like a saint, live how you live, don't ever change. Some people just need someone to hate. Well, ain't it funny how a stranger can know you so well? Thank you.
I love that song. That is fantastic. So I do carpentry for a living because I'm a musician. So I do carpentry for a living. And I've been doing that for 25 years now, since I was a teenager. And, you know, I've had my share of accidents over the years, and the most recent few, I ended up losing part of my finger on a table saw and having a nail go into my neck that almost killed me, to be honest. And so when you do that kind of work, especially today, I think there's just not a lot of respect for guys that chose to pick up a hammer instead of going to a university, right? They chose to learn a trade and build your house and work on your car and do all that stuff. And so this is kind of a song about that, I guess. It's called Work to Do.
if I've got idle hands. I know my vice is just might show you who I am, but I ain't worth a damn. Besides the miles that I've put in on these two hands, and if time's a judge, I know I might have failed you more than once. So when I get to heaven, if that's where I belong, I'll hope that there's still nails to drive and the day is long. 'Cause I don't know what good I am if these hands ain't bruised. I hope somehow in heaven there's still work to do. Now that time has gone, it's picture perfect all the ways I've done you wrong. When I'm dead and gone, well, maybe what I built, it might just carry on. But if time's a judge, I know I might have failed you more than once. So when I get to heaven, if that's where I belong, I'll hope that there's still nails to drive and the day is long. 'Cause I don't know what good I am if these hands ain't bruised. I'll hope somehow in heaven there's still work to do. I know I ain't the kind of man you were hoping for, but maybe in the work you see there's so much more. So when I get to heaven, if that's where I belong, I hope that there's still nails to drive and the day is long. 'Cause I don't know what good I am if these hands ain't bruised. I hope somehow in heaven there's still work to do.
Oh, Nate, that was so cool. I have a brother named Joseph who's also a man that makes things with his hands, and he started off making tailored guitars. Awesome. What? And now he's making like these boho retro tables. And that making a table is hard. I mean, putting together a table from IKEA is hard. Imagine having to put it in what all. Never mind. Anyway, that was wonderful. So I'm going to just sing one more song for you. I think we're all on one more song, and this has just been so wonderful. This is going to be, so my next record is called Dark Sky Blue, and the whole album is kind of about this journey of healing that I've been on, and all these songs have kind of helped me get through. And this next song is the song that possibly, I think it might have saved my life. I'm pretty sure it did. And I've been working with a life coach who's actually here tonight, Trina Harmon. And she's helped me through some of the darkest days. And when I was in such a dark place that I just felt like I was going to lay down and die, I just wanted to stay in that darkness and just be done. She's like, well, you got to get out and start walking. Even if it's just 10 steps a day, just get out in the sunshine. And I want you to repeat these words. I want you to say, I choose love. I see love everywhere. I choose love. I see love everywhere. So I got out and I start walking. I'm like, I choose love. I see love everywhere. Because I was just so in such a dark place. And anyway, I just would repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And then you know what happened? I started believing it. And then once I started believing it, I started seeing love everywhere. I would see heart-shaped clouds. I would see gum on the sidewalk. That was a heart shape. I would crack my eggs onto the pan and it would come out in a heart shape. And I'm like, okay, now you're just showing off. But words have power. Words matter. When you say hallelujah, you say amen, you say love, it matters. So we've just reached the sing-along portion of the night. I'm going to sing. Of course, I wrote a song called I Choose Love. I wrote this with my friend Kim McLean. And when the chorus is I choose love, it just repeats it. So when you hear it the first time, if you want to join in on the second time, or whenever you feel like joining in, anybody up here wants to do a harmony, I'm all for it. And I'll play it for you right now. When the shadows fall and fade to black, and the rising waters rage and crash, and the ground I stood on crumbled out from under me. When the ones I trusted turn away, and they bend me until I could break, my defense is my surrender to what I believe. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. When forgiveness seems just out of reach, I will wait until the light finds me to unleash the chains of doubt and let the world be flawed. Maybe we're all perfect as we are, heaven's candles in a field of stars. One light, one dream, one answer to what heals us all. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. All right, now you know what you're doing, everyone. Come on, here we go. I choose love. Love chose me. I choose love to be free. I choose love. I choose love. Harmony's coming in. I choose love. you for singing along.
All right, well, this has been a lot of fun. This is going to be my last song as well. Once again, my name is Sam Hatmaker, and I would end on a happy note, but I don't really have any happy songs, so I'm gonna sing a song that I feel like the best way to describe it is from a mood of frustration. I wrote this after a really frustrating day, and it's gonna be my next single, so, you know, at least it ended up being productive. This is called Waiting Room. I just spent my whole afternoon sitting in a waiting room for somebody with a degree to say there's nothing wrong with me, and maybe that would be okay if I didn't know every day would feel just like this afternoon, sitting in a waiting room. If you work really hard, then you can buy yourself a car to get you fast and as far away from everything you are. And when you find yourself alone, you say, this doesn't feel like home. And I think maybe that's the point, or maybe I'm just real annoying. I don't think anything matters except if you think that's Saturday night. I think if you talk a lot, you'll say things you don't mean. I hope before my body rots I can grow something green. I just spent my last 20 years thinking I know why I'm here, and I thought you couldn't be smart without knowing who you are. And maybe part of that is true, but I think it would be sad to have everything all figured out with nothing left to talk about. If you work really hard, then you can buy yourself a car to get you fast and as far away from everything you are. And when you find yourself alone, you say, this doesn't feel like home. And I think maybe that's the point, and maybe I'm just real annoying. I don't think anything matters except if you think that's Saturday night. I think if you talk a lot, you'll say things you don't mean. I hope before my body rots I can grow something green. I just spent my whole afternoon sitting in a waiting room for somebody with a degree to say there's nothing wrong with me. And maybe that would be okay if I didn't know every day would feel just like this afternoon. Sitting in a waiting room would feel just like this afternoon. Sitting in a waiting room would feel just like this afternoon. Sitting in a waiting room, and every day's this afternoon. Sitting in a waiting room. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having us. It's been a ton of fun. So I'm going to play a song that was one of the first songs I wrote when I moved to Nashville. I moved here from Los Angeles. Don't hold that against me. I didn't bring Los Angeles with me. I left it in Los Angeles. But this song, actually, it's kind of weird. I wrote it for a friend of mine. But I noticed something when I came to visit Nashville. We came here on a vacation just to make sure it was a good fit for us, you know, before we left LA. Went and saw a bunch of shows, and I noticed two things over and over and over again. Number one, the talent in this town is just unreal, obviously, like from what you've heard from these two tonight. It's fantastic. And then the second thing I learned was that at every single show I ever go to, somebody says the word whiskey from the stage at some point in the night, and it's really annoying. But now it's going to be like someone telling you not to think of a pink elephant, because every time you go to a show, you're gonna notice it. So this is my way of doing that 17,000 times. So this song is not so ironically titled whiskey.
Too much time on my hands without you and all your plans, and I just can't get you out of my head. This liquor, it don't chase you from my memory. When time is all that I have left, the days are long for my regrets, and maybe it's the whiskey, maybe it's the wine, baby, you're all I need tonight. Maybe it's the water, maybe it's the ride, baby, you're all I need, 'cause you're always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. And now these hours are like days without you next to me. I just can't get you out of my head. And this liquor, it don't chase you from my memory. Time is all that I have left. The days are long for my regrets, and maybe it's the whiskey, maybe it's the wine, baby, you're all I need tonight. Maybe it's the water, maybe it's the ride, baby, you're all I need, 'cause you're always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind. Take the long way, take another drink, 'cause I see you when I see me. In the daylight or the nighttime, my waking hours for a lifetime. I've got you on, I've got you on, I've got you on my mind. Whoa. 'Cause maybe it's the wine, maybe it's the whiskey, maybe it's the wine, baby, you're all I need tonight. Maybe it's the wrong way, maybe it's alright, baby, you're all I need, 'cause you're always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. But maybe it's the wine, 'cause I see you all the time.
Thank you, Nathan Picard, Sam Hatmaker, Eve Sellis. Great job. I want one more hand for our opening round. That was a great round. And Sam Hunt, thank you. That was great, y'all. Thank you. Hey, we are going to do a real quick turnaround because we got to get Leslie Satcher up here and on stage. So we're going to take a real quick break. Restrooms are in the lobby. Snacks are over there. But make it quick. We'll be right back.
Yeah, me too. Oh, thank you. You too. So good.
You are
Thank you,
awesome.
same
Your
here.
voice is amazing.
You guys.
And Jamie Lynn Curran says haters are just confused supporters.
I like that. I like that.
I love that.
That's a good motto.
Talk about turning it around.
Thank you.
Liam is coming down, I believe. Bill is coming down right now, right here. He'll pick it up. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So we're on this right here. And the middle microphone would be perfect. Okay, great. You want to switch? Just one for yeah. Oh, that's what I was trying to think of the name, Stromberg, yeah. Couldn't wait to see it. Are you sound checking her guitar or will she? Okay. Yeah. It's very cool. I have never seen them. He was telling me about it and it's like, I can't wait to see that. Hang on just a minute and I will have. Where I put Leslie?
looking kind of front row. Sit next to that. I'm in the shower. I want to see the mountains. Damn song. Not damn, I love that song. You have to get into it. You just can't get it out of your head. That's how you know it's real. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Because it'll get much louder out of the house. Yes, yes.
Good evening and welcome back. Hey, everybody. Sure is good to see y'all, by the way. It's been a good summer. Good to have everybody back and sharing music together like we love to do. All right. We've had lots of legendary songwriters up here for the Inside the Hits portion of the show. Listen, and we go over the song, the artists that have cut their songs quite often. All right. This is Leslie Satcher. Get a load of this list. She's had songs, hold your applause for a second. She's had songs recorded by George Strait, Martina McBride, Patty Loveless, Reba McEntire, Vince Gill, Merle Haggard and Gretchen Wilson, Willie Nelson and Bonnie Raitt. She has Sheryl Crow's last single called Prove You Wrong that also featured Stevie Nicks, Joe Walsh, and Maren Morris. I think she's doing all right. It's been a good life. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, without further ado, let me introduce you to our Inside the Hits guest this evening, Leslie Satcher. Leslie.
Thank you. Good evening. I've always wanted to see inside this church, so I'm so happy to be here. I had no idea it was 19 miles from Music Row. Who knew? I would have guessed about 21, so I'm really glad. What about those songwriters that opened up? Weren't they great?
Charmers done wore me out, son, done wore me down.
said, don't look so shiny now. I'm about to run it down south. Hey, I'm about to run it down south. Headed back down where I can breathe. And how y'all doing flows like the Mississippi. I'm about to let New Orleans ease my mind. Oh, you know it flows like the gospel when they get it right. I'm gonna run it down south. Yeah, I'm gonna run it down south. Bless my soul, I'm headed for the people I know. I'm gonna lay me down where the sweet magnolias grow. I'm gonna crank that Pontiac, throw it all in the back like the Ponce train. I'm gonna run it down south. Oh, wayward angels don't bother me. I move over on the brachio, son, give me a seat. Come on now, preacher man, what you got? I've been to the boardroom, now I'm looking for the rock. I'm gonna run it down south. Yeah, I'm gonna run it down south. Bless my soul, man, I'm headed for the people I know. I'm gonna lay me down where the sweet magnolias grow. I'm gonna crank a Pontiac, throw it all in the back like a Ponce train. I'm gonna run it down south. I'm gonna run it down south. It's on a record I made a couple years ago in Muscle Shoals. It's a live record. I play this benefit every year up in Hendersonville, Kentucky. And there's a gospel song on the end of that record, and this lady that works that benefit, she said, listen, I want one of your records to play for my prison group that I do, my prison ministry. I want them to hear that gospel song on the end. I told her, that'd be good. I'd be happy to send some over there for you. So this year she said, you know, Leslie, she goes, I went in and I told them, how do y'all like that gospel song? Y'all want me to play that again for you? And they went, yeah, we like it, but we want to hear that Run It Down South thing. Oh, run it down south. I think we can think what the prisoners were thinking about. Hey, Mr. Sound Man, could I have some more level up here on this stage, please? I'll take it all the way across the board, the guitar. People ask me all the time, how do you get those ideas for those songs? And I tell them, well, it's easy. I just write about my crazy family. So you write about your family, you don't, you know, in my family, you never run out of anything to write about. So, especially if you're writing about the women in my family, because they're all crazy. So, we're from Texas. That ought to tell you something right there. So, when I wrote this song and got it over to Martina, my mother's sister started calling from Texas. First one that called was her baby sister. She was a hot mess, and she said, Leslie, this your Aunt Regina calling from Paris, Texas. She said, listen, that Martina McBride song, she said, we've got that thing up in the top 20. She said, we're calling every 5 minutes down at the radio station requesting it. I said, good, keep calling. She said, well, listen, I need to ask you something. She said, is that song about me? I said, yes, it is. It sure. She said, I knew it. I knew it was. She goes, we'll keep calling. I said, good, y'all call. She said, we will. So time goes by, and we make it up into the top 10. And Mama's middle sister calls. Now, I don't know, how many people are middle kids out there? Raise your hand, don't be afraid. Y'all Hellcats, that's what you are. You know you are, own it. Middle children are trouble. And so was she. So was my Aunt Lorraine. She's gone on to heaven now, but in high heels. But let me just say, she was a hairdresser in Dallas. She discovered Dallas in the 60s. She discovered bouffant hair and kitten heels. She never returned to Paris, Texas. She stayed in Dallas, Texas, and did hair. She dressed hair for Neiman Marcus. She became swanky. She calls up when we hit the top 10. She said, Leslie, this is your Aunt Lorraine in Dallas, Texas. I said, I recognize the voice. She said, listen, let me talk to you about something. She said, we've been calling every week. She said, in fact, we're calling 2 or 3 times a day, requesting your song. She said, we've got you in the top 10 here in Dallas, Texas on the Wolf. I said, well, thank you, Aunt Lou. I said, I really appreciate that, hairdressing and all, and calling the radio station. And she said, listen, I just need to talk to you about something. She said, that song, she said, it's about me, isn't it? I said, yes, ma'am, it sure is. She said, She said, I knew it. Well, about a day later, my baby sister, who's so precious, she approaches me at the house, and she said, Leslie, and she actually does go on mission trips. She's precious. She said, Leslie, I never have asked you before, but that God-fearing women song, she said, that's about me, isn't it? I said, yes, it is, baby. It's about you. She said, I knew it. Real forward, we hit the top 5. We're about to crack into the big money, Cadillac money. And my mama, who's about as tall as this stand right here and about that, like this, she gets me in the kitchen. She goes, hey, I need to talk to you. I said, uh-oh, what have I done? She said, listen, I want to ask you something. She said, you've been telling all that bunch down there in Texas that God-fearing women's about them? I said, yes. She goes, you stop doing that. She said, you know it's about me. I said, yes, it is, Mama. We all heard her hollering for a country mile, cheating show complete like a star. Well, she took out 3 parking meters and a pedestrian's purse today. She quit the Baptist choir and threw that Ford into reverse. Lock up your husbands, lock up your sons, lock up your whiskey cabinets, girls, lock up your guns. Well, lock up our beauty shop, don't tell it if they've heard the news. Call the boys downtown at Neiman Marcus, tell them lock up them high heel shoes. When God-fearing women get the blues, there ain't no slap down, but tell them what they're gonna do. Man, they run around yelling, I got a Mustang, it'll do 80. You don't have to be my baby, I've stirred my last batch of gravy. When God-fearing women get the blues, yeah, baby. Well, call all the deacons, call the ladies' aid, call all them alto sopranos, tenors, call every bass. Well, call the Pentecostals, bring an anointing or 2. You better call the preacher, he's the only one can reach it, and there ain't no time to lose. When God-fearing women get the blues, there ain't no slam down, but tell him what they gonna do. Man, they run around yelling, I got a Mustang, it'll do 80. You don't have to be my baby, I've stirred my last batch of gravy. When God-fearing women get the blues. So this song was a hit 20 years ago when fax machines were still working, So Martina, she sends a fax over to my publishing company. She said, I don't quite understand that second verse. What's that all about? She's from the Midwest. Apparently they don't have prayer lists in the Midwest. I said, well, look, here's the deal, Martina. I said, when you're on the prayer list at home, that means that somebody's seen you do something. Let's say maybe Miss Pomeroy saw you parked at the Sonic with one of them brown boys that you're not supposed to be with because they're wild and you're not, and they're Methodist and you're Baptist and whatnot. And, you know, Miss Pomeroy starts calling down the prayer list. Y'all need to start praying for Leslie. She's at the Sonic with the Methodist. I'm sorry. But by the time that it got down about 4 calls, that was my grandmother. So I was in trouble by the time I got home for drinking a Coke, doing nothing wrong. When God-fearing women get the blues, baby. God bless Martina. Martina, I just did a show with her at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and she's so fabulous. And I mean, so many hits and so many wonderful things. And she said, we're going to do she had invited writers who had had hits with her. And so I was really fortunate to be in the room. And I've had 2 hits with Martina, and some of them had had several. And so I was really thankful to be there. And so we get there, and I'm thinking, I'm going to do something of my own. And she says, why don't you do God-fearing women? For Martina? That's like Carrie Underwood asking you to do Wasted. I was like, you do it. She goes, no, you do it. I was like, oh, man. That's when I really learned to pray that day. I'm just telling y'all. I don't know what I'm about to say. Don't know what I'm about to do. All I know is I'm about to play the fool for you. I am laying down my pride, laying down all my fear, like I knew right from the start I would find what I need right here. Mercy. Baby, have mercy. Tell me now if you feel anything. Have mercy on me. Oh, I've tried to hide the truth, even from myself, but love won't let me lie to you. Oh, tonight I need your help. Mercy. Baby, have mercy. Tell me now if you feel anything. Have mercy on me. Trying to hide the truth, even from myself, but love won't let me lie to you. Tonight I need your help. mercy, baby. Baby, have mercy. Tell me now if you feel anything. Tell me now, baby, if you feel anything. Oh, tell me now if you feel anything. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, baby. Thank you so much. Sometimes I sit by myself in my sunroom out here at Leapers Fork and try to amuse myself with a guitar and see what I can find. And I write with a lot of younger songwriters. I've had the privilege of writing with Sam Hatmaker, and sometimes they'll say, you know, well, I don't have a hook or I don't have an idea. And I tell them half the time I don't even start with one. When I started that song, I just said, I don't know what I'm about to say. Don't know what I'm about to do. And then God shows up. That's all that works for me. It's not really rocket science if you lean on Him. When I got to town, I started a church at Christ Church in Brentwood. And it was I got here on Saturday, and on Sunday morning I went to visit the church. I was 89, so it was rocking pretty hot right about that time. And there was no seats, and I was standing at the back and trying to see, you know, where should I go. And this man comes up to me and he goes, go down that aisle right down there and sit by that lady in the hat. There's one seat. And I said, okay. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah. Well, when I sat down, the lady in the hat turned to me and she said, oh, welcome. She said, I'm glad you could join us today. I said, well, I'm really happy to be here. It was Naomi Judd. And she became my friend and mentor, and I walked with her through the rest of her life until just recently. And she really taught me about writing commercial songs. Her husband, Larry Strickland, who was with Elvis, sang bass many, many years, he was going to sign me to my first publishing deal. And then the Judd thing sort of was rocking, too busy to do that, so I started looking for another publishing deal. But we've stayed friends. And too recently I said to him, Larry, we've never written a song together. And he said, oh, I don't know about writing a song. I said, well, why don't you just send me something? He said, well, I'll send you this thing I started about my daddy. He was a preacher. He just sent me the lyric, and I sent this back to him, and he said, I think Daddy would like that. There's a preacher man. There's a preacher man. Always talking about Jesus and the blood of the Lamb. Don't wear no diamond ring. Don't drive no fancy car. All that preacher man wants is a sinner man's heart. He stays at the church house, down on his knees. Preacher man don't care what the other folk think. They say he leaves the doors unlocked. But if it's on your breath, it don't scare that preacher man. He's gonna tell you about a love stronger than whiskey and smoke. Gonna say you can't give it up if it gets down in your soul. But he stays at the church house, down on his knees. Preacher man don't care what the other folk think. They say he leaves the doors unlocked for those who would come in. Oh, he's keeping a watch for the ones who lost. Hey, preacher man, you waiting on me? They say he leaves all the doors unlocked for those who would come in, Lord, and he's keeping a watch for the one who's lost. Hey, preacher man, son, you waiting on me? Hey, preacher man, you waiting on me? Yeah, there's a preacher man. There's a preacher man, always talking about Jesus and the blood of the Lamb. Ooh, talking about Jesus. Thank you so much. I was going to play at an event sort of like this at my hometown last year, and I've been writing with these boys called the Reeves Brothers. They're from Arkansas. I don't hold that against them, but they're honky-tonkers. They grew up behind a honky-tonk. Their daddy was a honky-tonk singer. Their mama was a truck stop waitress. It's like a country song. They grew up in a single wide. They never knew anything but honky-tonking, and they were coming to write with me. They're hitting a good lick right now, and they're probably about to really take off. And so I was trying to think of something to write with them, and in turn, I'm playing at this church in about a month at home, and so I was kind of challenging myself. Now, what am I going to play in that church that's a honky-tonk thing that I could play in there? And then I went, wait a minute. There's lots of us raised in the church that love country music and love honky-tonk music, and some of them just won't admit it, but it's true. It's true. They love it. And some of them are at the dance hall on Saturday night. I've seen them. So I'm just saying. And I told those boys, I said, we need to write a honky-tonk song that church people can appreciate. You know, people who don't get out, you know, and go drinking and whatnot. And I said, I've got this idea. So I told them my idea. And when I got home to Paris, Texas, about a month later, I played it at this event in the Methodist church. And there was a little older gentleman sitting right down on the front table, and he had this kind of, you know, scowl on his face, and I thought, uh-oh, I'm making that guy mad. And when it was over, he came up to me, he goes, hey, I need to ask you something. I go, okay, what is it? He said, where can I get that song? If the one you love says goodbye in a letter, and you're suddenly informed y'all ain't together, if it hurts down to the bone, you just want to be alone, you could use a whiskey cry, but you ain't the neon type. You can still honky-tonk your way through a heartache. A handful of old LPs is all that it takes. Dr. Haggard, Dr. Jones, well, they'll treat you right at home while you honky-tonk your way that you need is in them records. If a place to fall apart makes you feel better, take a grand tour of your home. Just admit that love is gone. Drop that needle down again, singing misery and gin. You can honky tonk your way through a heartache. A handful of old LPs is all that it takes. Dr. Haggard, Dr. Jones will treat you right at home while you honky tonk your way through a heartache. Hey, Dr. Haggard, Dr. Jones will treat you right at home while you honky tonk your way through a heartache. Ooh, Lord, right at home. You can crank them records up now, right at home. Thank you so much. I might look at the words maybe on this for a second. This is brand spanking new. I'm so bossy, my people tell me. My friends Karen Gremord and Brian Gremord out here, they might agree. But they can only agree because they're also bossy. So bossy people know each other. About a week ago, I was coming home from writing on Music Row, 19 miles down that way. And this song idea started coming to me, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, I can't stop and I can't record and drive, so I've got to pull over. So I whipped in the Walgreens at Green Hills, and this thing started coming. And I was like, oh no, I got my guitar out of the back. I got my phone. I'm singing. I'm trying to play in the parking lot. And I had so much of it going, and I stopped. And I was like, oh no. And so I called up Vince, who I've written a lot of songs with, and God bless him, he's recorded a bunch of them. Mama really likes him. And I called him up, I said, and I left him a message. I go, where are you? Oh my gosh, this song, this is for you. You got to call me back right now. Where are you? I mean, he could have been doing something eagerly. I don't know. He could have been doing something important, but I'm just bossing him. Call me back right now. I'm sitting at the Walgreens. I'm like 6 minutes from your house. And so, nothing. So I wait. I'm thinking, I'm not coming all the way back to Leaper's Fork. And then Ben Skill called me from Bell Mead, and have to go trucking all the way back. That's a lot of gas. So I'm not doing that. I'm waiting at the Walgreens parking lot like a hawk. I'm just sitting there with my little guitar and my little voice recorder, and people think I'm crazy out in the parking lot. And so a few minutes goes by, and I call my husband, and I sing it to him. He goes, don't leave Green Hills. You wait till you get a hold of him. He goes, call back his voicemail, sing it in his voicemail. And I went, all right. So I called back to sing it in his voicemail. He picked up. Hello, what are you doing? I go, where are you? He goes, I'm walking in the back door of the Ryman. I go, dang it. He goes, what? I go, I've got this song. You should have been at home. He goes, well, sing it to me. I go, okay. So I sang it to him. He goes, be at my house on Monday. I went, there you go. That's how you get it done right there. Don't go home, girls. I'm just saying. Ben Skill tells you he's walking the back of the Ryman. I don't care. I'm 6 minutes from your house. All my friends are slipping away. Lord, didn't we have some times? Now a handful of teardrops that we used to cry have turned into a flood of goodbyes. And the pawn shops are full of old worn out guitars, just waiting to lay in a new set of arms. Ain't no use running, God knows what's coming. We'll all face a flood of goodbyes. I remember the songs that tore up my heart, that we danced to on Saturday night. All the world fell in love to the Tennessee waltz long before the flood of goodbyes. And the pawn shops are full of worn out guitars, just waiting to lay in a new set of arms. Ain't no use running, God knows what's coming. We'll all face the flood of goodbyes. And the pawn shops are full of worn out guitars, just waiting to lay in a new set of arms. Ain't no use running, God knows what's coming. We'll all face a flood of goodbyes. Ain't no use in running, God knows what's coming. We'll all face the flood of goodbyes. Thank you. Now, I'm just telling you, if you can make Vince Gill cry, you can do good. So I think he might have had a tear in his eye there. So I tell you, it's an interesting thing when you're writing with these guys, Eagles and whatnots, legends and everything like that. We're sitting in his living room, and I had my little guitar out that my brother had found at a yard sale in Texas, and I glued roses, paper roses on it. I've taken this guitar into Vince Gill's house where there's $2.5 million worth of guitars in one room. A yard sale guitar with paper roses glued on it. And I'm playing away on it, and he's looking at me like, what the heck? And anyway, he reaches over and picks up this old guitar that's a gut string, and he starts playing it and working on the melody with me. And it's got all these names written on it. And I said, hey, man, I go, you told me one time not to let people sign my guitar, not to write on my guitars. Hey, look at all them names on that guitar. He said, it ain't my guitar. I said, whose guitar is it? He said, Dean Dillon's. I said, Dean Dillon's? How'd you get that guitar? And he said, Amy bought it for me. Of course. It was the guitar that Dean Dillon wrote all those like 60 number ones for George Strait on. Now it's at Vince Gill's house. How many more number ones are in it? I'm just saying there might be a bunch. I hope that's one of them. Well, speaking of George Strait, I'll wind up with this song, and I want to thank you so much for having me at your party. I appreciate it. I was very thankful to be asked, and thankful to live so close by to such a fun event. And Dan Keene, who introduced me, is old friends of mine from many years ago. He worked for ASCAP, and I'm a BMI writer, and he's still friends with me. That's when you could cross the lines and be friends. Dan has always been a great person to run into in my career, and I was glad to see you here tonight, Dan. Really great to see you. So, Listen, wherever he is tonight on his giant ranch or his giant yacht, I hope God blesses George Strait, because he has certainly blessed me. When this song was a hit, my mama comes to me again. Now, I had bought her a Cadillac with some Pam Tillis money that I'd had a hit with. And she says, Leslie, there's something I need. Now, I'm thinking the word Maserati is about to fly out of her mouth, because it does quite often. I think she's dropping hints. And I'm like, Maserati, holy cow. So she says, I need to ask you for something. She said, when that George Strait money gets here, holy cow, I'm thinking, how much is a Maserati? And she said, I want a fence between us and that neighbor. And I want a big fence, like 6 feet, maybe 7, make it 8. I went, Mama, why? I mean, we moved out here to this beautiful country. We've got 4 board fences, which is a mark of wealth where I'm from. I'm like, yeah, we got the 4 board. You know, no chain link for us, baby. We're 4 board out here at Leapers Fort. Y'all know. Y'all want the 4 boards, you know. Anyway, got to paint them things, though. Chain link was a lot easier, I got to say. Anyway, I said, why do you want this big, tall fence, Mama? We can't even see out the house if we do that. Because we've got my mother with us and my sister. We're the Waltons of Leapers Fort. She said, well, she goes, this neighbor, oh boy, next door, she said, every time I come out to get in the swimming pool, she said he comes out on his deck and he looks at me. Now, Mama is pretty, and at that time she still had her dark hair. Now she's got silver hair, but she had dark hair then. And when she was young, she looked like Liz Taylor. She was beautiful, still beautiful. And she said, I get in my bathing suit, I get out there, and she said, no sooner did I get out in the pool, and here he comes. He drags his chair out, sits out there, and just looks at me. And I said, no, Mom, that can't be right. She said, it is. I said, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I said, you go get your bathing suit on, and you go out the back door, and I'm going to go to the dining room. I can peep through, and I can see when he comes out. If he comes out, and we'll see. And if he comes out, you can have your fence. She said, all right. So she goes to get her bathing suit. She goes out the sunroom, and she doesn't get one toe in that water. Oh, boy, it cracks open his back door. I see him. He drags a chair up, and he just sits down and looks at it. He looks like Mr. Magoo, bless him. So he's just got a bead on Mama with these glasses. And Mama's now down in the pool, and she won't come up out of the water. She's looking at me in the house like, and I'm like, I can see him. And so I'm thinking, dang, that's going to cost me a bunch of money. Now I got to build a darn fence. Well, the money comes in from George Strait, God bless him. And we do. I have these guys come out and build this little, it's just a portion of a fence. I had them put a pool house thing over the pump because it was just sitting there from the last rednecks that owned our house. They never covered it up. And I thought, well, that'll be a good excuse. It'll look like I'm just beautifying the backyard so it looks nice for his backyard. He's not having to look at our pool pump. Isn't that nice? And I'll put this little decorative fence 8 feet tall next to it. And I'm thinking I've gotten away with this because, you know, he's looking, you know, every time you see him mowing, whatever. Good job covering up the pool pump. Well, we go to church together. We did at that time. And one Sunday, I'm going down to tell the preacher, good job. Really brought the fire this morning. And here comes, oh boy, Mr. Magoo coming straight at us. I'm like, oh no, he's going to say something. Because he is chatty. And not that and I'm so shy, as y'all can tell. And so I'm thinking, what's he about to say? And the next thing I know, the preacher's saying to him, aren't y'all neighbors out there? And he goes, yes, we are. And I'm like, oh gosh. And he said, is she a good neighbor? And he said, well, she was till she put up the Great Wall of China between us. I'm like, oh, great day. So anyways, thank you, George Strait, for the Great Wall of China. Thank y'all for having me. And just send this out to my friends, Brian and Kieran, who came up to this show. God bless George Strait. God bless y'all. I still feel 25 most of the time. I still raise a little Cain with the boys. Honky tonks on city limits. I mean, I'm still right there in them. singing above the crowd and the noise. Sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Well, the truth about a mirror is it ain't no mirror, no, it never really tells the whole truth. It don't show us deep inside, it don't read between the lines, and it's really no reflection of my youth. Sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Yeah, I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Oh, I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Leslie
God bless you.
Satcher.
Thank you.
You are a treasure, baby. You are a treasure. You are such a treasure, Leslie. We thank you. I think they enjoyed it. Look at everybody. Thank you, Leslie. Folks, sure appreciate you being here. I'm going to stop talking.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very, very much. We have a little donation box in the back. If you care to help us out, it would be very much appreciated. Next month, we've got Sarah Buxton coming, who is a hoot. You're going to love that. So look forward to seeing you then. And until then, don't forget, share the music you love with the people you love. And we'll see you next month. Bye.